So, Willie, how's your spring going?
It's going really well. Obviously just getting started with the physical stuff, physical contact, the full pads. Feel pretty good running full team right now and going against the defense. Feels really good.
What do you think you've elevated your game since last year?
I think weightlifting, having a good few months of weightlifting helped me put on some good pounds of muscle. And I think interior blocking with these big D linemen, we got a lot of big D linemen from the portal and big jacks and outside linebackers that helped me a lot with my run blocking.
Coach just said he likes everything about you and likes having you on the team. You're a guy who wants on his team. How does that motivate you?
Yes, sir. That's awesome to hear. I mean, that's what I want people to say about me, and that's what I want to be known as a team player and as a guy that's here for the team and somebody that you want on your team.
What is it you do that you think it makes you say that?
I think it's everything. I think it's got to be on and off the field for someone you want on your team. I think it's in the locker room, trying to be a leader everywhere you go in the community, and also when you get out in the field, being a leader.
You're a physical guy. He likes that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Obviously, being physical, and when you put that helmet on, it's obviously a whole different person than off the field. But I think that should be known. But I think when you put the helmet on, you're a completely different person on the field.
You cultivate a pretty good relationship with your ball cutter. What's that process like when Zach Calzada comes in to figure out what you need to do, where you need to be, when he's going to flip it to you instead of running?
I saw it. Yeah, we were just talking about that the first time we ran that play together. And obviously, he's got a different style we got to learn, but now we got it down. We'll get that down next time. Obviously, just building chemistry like everybody. When those new guys come in, you just got to build that chemistry with them. That happens over practice, and that's why spring ball is perfect.
The new guy in your room too, Henry Boyer. What have you learned about him in a few practices?
Yeah, he's been a great addition. He's a massive guy for sure, definitely a big boy, and it definitely helps us a lot in the tech room. I think it's a great addition to our time room. He's a great guy, and we really like that.
Willie? Having as many new faces in the locker room this year, does that kind of help make it a fresh new start for you guys and wipe away last year?
Yeah, I think so. It was a lot. I think the first day when we showed back up for spring, maybe 30 guys new. It was crazy for me, obviously, being a freshman and seeing all those new faces, having to learn everybody's names again. But I think, it was definitely fresh. Bunch of new guys in, meeting everybody. That's what we've been doing in development and building relationships with those guys.
Well, there's so many new guys on offense that some of that continuity probably gets lost. But for you guys who are back, what's the benefit of year two in this?
I think it's having year two in the offense is a big thing. I was talking to Josh Caddis. He's obviously had 3 different offensive coordinators. He said coming back year two on this offense is very big, and especially for me, just come back, I feel really comfortable. I feel like I know the concepts a lot, and I feel like coming back in year two offense is big for sure.
When you guys are in the run game, what are the guys on defense? Who are the guys that can be a little tricky to try to block?
I think someone I've been going against since I first got here, Steven Solis. I mean, he's pretty wild, and I think the way he moves and stands before a snap, and he's pretty hard to block. Obviously, pretty elusive. He can get real skinny real quick. So I think those quick edge guys that are really hard to block, I think those are the hardest guys to block off the edge.
So is it tougher to get a quick guy or a big dude?
Big dudes, I mean, obviously they don't move as well, but for me, I think it's those quicker dudes. Those are the type of dudes that can stand you up real quick and then dip their shoulder and rip right past. Like, obviously, that's the top edge rushers, what they're like in the SEC as we saw last year. So.
Willie, between you and Cutter, who's the neat roommate?
I think we both try to keep each other accountable to hold the whole house clean, and Josh does too. So I think we all live together and we all try to hold each other accountable and keeping the whole house clean. We take turns taking out the trash and everything.
How have you seen Cutter develop this spring so far?
Yeah, I think coming in, obviously, year two for him too, and I think also year two in his offense. I think he's developing really well, and I think it's like I said, coming in that offense, knowing the concepts, and it's time to step up. Try to be a leader in the locker room. And it's year two, you're coming in. We got to go. So,
everybody good?
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Willie. Appreciate it.
Wait, for Zach.
What's this just learning process been like with the new offense? Now you're halfway through spring practice. How comfortable do you feel in it and with your new targets?
Yeah, I mean, we're feeling good, never satisfied though. And it's just, now we're at the point where we've taken some good steps and we just want to keep taking steps every day.
Ever Patterson out of the backfield has been a pretty reliable target. What have you seen from him during spring practice?
He plays hard, man. I like him. And really that whole group in general, the running backs, they've done a good job of, learning their assignments, what they're supposed to do, and they block hard when they're supposed to, and they run hard when they're supposed to.
Looks like you formed some good chemistry with Kendrick Law. Obviously, what's he giving you as an option?
Oh, he's a strong guy. He can create good separation in man, and really that whole group. All of them have done a really good job from throwing back in January and February to now taking the necessary steps in the film room and on the field to just keep getting better.
Willie said he would have his head turned the next time y'all went there.
Yes, sir. And that's part of spring ball is getting those connections. You know, we've never played together before, and just every player plays different, and every connection is going to be different. And that's the great thing about, you know, college. We get 3-4 weeks to get better and to take steps in the right direction.
Zach, you've obviously got lots of experience starting at new places. What's the difference about this adjustment than maybe in your previous one? Or is it different?
I mean, every you know, new place is going to be different, but I think coming here it was a pleasant surprise just to see the morale and the mentality of the team. You know, everybody comes in and goes to work every single day, and it's been fantastic.
Why was that a surprise?
You know, it's just every place is different, you know, and you never know what to expect. You know, sometimes you go places and some guys work one way and some guys work another, but here I just feel really good about, you know, the whole group as a whole, just coming to work every day, the willingness to get better and take the steps that we need to take.
Speaking of just the group coming together, how have you seen the offensive line kind of gel together, bringing in a bunch of different guys?
Oh, it's been amazing. Every group really, the O-line especially, just from day one to where we're at now, it's been exceptional. You know, you can see that they put a lot of effort into playing together, making sure that they're communicating correctly at the end. That's what we need to do.
Despite the fault as the quarterback, you have to kind of take a leadership role. Do you feel like you've kind of been able to establish yourself with these guys?
Yeah, it's organic. You don't come in and be vocal right away. It's every time, you know, I've been to a couple new places, so, you know, every time you have to establish yourself as somebody that can be imitated. And that's what I try to do, is get here early and be prepared, and then come out and practice out.
The past couple of years, Kentucky has gotten a quarterback out of the transfer portal. You're just the latest iteration of that. What have you seen from the coaching staff that's kind of made that transition a little easier since they've had experience?
Can you say that one more time?
No, okay. So, like, you're the third quarterback they've gotten out of the transfer portal. So, have you noticed anything from the staff that's kind of made it a little bit easier because they've done this process before?
Not really. I mean, you come into a new place and it's just all about learning and learning and developing. So I have to be, you know, the most prepared on the team when it comes to our scheme and what we want to do in our operation. And then it's just a matter of chemistry after that.
How exciting is it when you see a young guy like DJ Miller catch a contested pass like that one he had down the sideline?
Oh, it's awesome, man. And, you know, DJ's made a lot of good plays, and so have all the other receivers. And as a quarterback, it's really exciting to see any receiver make a contested catch. You know, as you all know, in the SEC, there's not a whole lot that's wide open. So, you know, when a guy can consistently make those plays, and not just a guy, but a whole group of guys makes those plays, it makes it really easy on the quarterback.
What have conversations with you and Coach Stoops looked like? And has he set any clear expectations for you? And I guess in this period of time, what is the goal for yourself as you kind of go into the end of spring?
If you don't mind, I'm probably not going to answer that question.
Zach, what's the biggest thing you've seen in the SEC change from when you were at A&M to now?
I mean, SEC football is SEC football, and with the transfer portal, everything's different. So probably less fourth, fifth year guys that have been there for 4 or 5 years, and just more transfer guys. But at the end of the day, SEC football is SEC football. It's fast, it's physical, and you know that's why I came back.
What have been your impressions of Cutter?
Oh, Cutter's great, man. We do high yoga. He's a good guy, and we build off of each other, and that's what's important in the quarterback room is quarterbacks have to be able to build and learn from each other's reps, each other's mistakes, and the good plays that we make as well, and be able to talk through those and communicate efficiently, and I think we do that.
What's your best pose?
My best pose? I don't know. It still gets me right now. I'm a beginner.
Zach, on a windy day like this, it's probably not the best day to judge throwing it down the field. Just where are you all at in the process of building that chemistry and getting those connections?
I feel good about it. I feel good. And you know, one practice, there might be a couple missed throws, miss whatever, but that's the purpose of spring practice. Like the play you guys saw with me and Willie is we're out here to get better, but also build connections. And every receiver's different wherever you go, and every quarterback's different. And that's the great thing about having 15 practices, you know, in the middle of March and April, is we get to build those connections.
Zach, I asked Jager a couple days ago if Shiaz Pete is the most interesting man he's ever met, and he said, kind of. He said he's up there. What do you think of him?
Oh, he's awesome. He's awesome. He's great. He's very wise. You know, if you sit down and have a conversation, you'll probably learn a lot. But he's a hard worker too. I mean, when we come in on Saturdays, back in January and February, he's one of the last guys in there working on his sets. So he's a great dude. I'm extremely excited to have him on the offensive line.
A couple more. Anybody else? Everybody good? All right, thank you.
So you're back at center, huh, Jager?
Yeah, we've been, experimenting with a lot of different stuff. We got a bunch of new guys who can play a lot of different positions, a bunch of guys with a lot of game reps. So, if there's a time to do it, it's spring. So, just move a bunch of guys around. Coach Wolf always says at the next level, you're valued off how many positions you can play. So, just trying to learn as much as all of us can during this spring ball time and get, as good as we can all get together.
How do you think you're different this time around in terms of trying to play center?
Yeah, I think this might be a cop-out answer, but older, it really does matter. I've been playing and been doing a lot of stuff for a while, and I feel like I finally have that confidence kind of back where, I know I can play and I know I can do. I know the coaches trust in me and believe in me, so that's the world, honestly. So.
Coach Duke said he was really pleased with the improvement in pass protection he's seen so far. What do you attribute that to as a group?
Yeah, pass protection stuff is a lot about communication, and a lot of people don't realize, but off the field communication is important, and it translates to the practice field. We started doing, every Friday trying to go to Dad's favorites here in town, eat, talk, learn as much as we can about each other, because, in today's college football, it's, guys come in and come out. You got to learn people fast, and you get playing together really quick. So I think that's honestly really helped us.
Jager, you guys that are back, just having the same offensive coordinators and offensive line coach, how much of a difference does that make? Just already having a leg up in that area.
Yeah, it's awesome. Being able to look back through the installs, and for the guys that have been here, knowing, I know what this is already. Maybe I can, learn what another position does, and if I have to play that position, if someone goes down, I know what to do there too. So in that regard, it's been awesome, and then it helps too with the guys, the new guys here know they can trust the ask guys. You don't always have to ask the coach.
Just to your offensive line, that there is some guys who how do you feel about not only the chemistry there, but just how well y'all perform?
Yeah, it does. It feels really good. Just being on the same plane, I guess. It's kind of hard to explain to people who don't play offensive line, but having the chemistry of being all on the same level makes it so much easier to pass that stuff off. And it's not necessarily something that's really hard to learn, but sometimes it's happened a couple of times. You get with three people and it's just your sets are the same or your footwork's the same, and it just plays out like that. So I feel like we have that right now, and it's the easiest it's felt to pass off twists in games in the inside, and I feel like, and when it comes to bull rushes and sitting down and really giving Zach or Cutter, whoever's in, time to step up and really throw the ball. So it's felt great, honestly.
Jack, you're talking about chemistry. You're part of that group that's on the field, five acting as one. With all the new faces, talk about the challenge of building that chemistry.
Yeah.
Just getting to know everybody.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a challenge. I think that's something in the past that, guys like me in the room, I haven't done a good job of that in the past. But I think this year it's been a real vocal point of, like I said earlier, going to eat on Fridays or, spending time together in the lunchroom. Instead of cold tubbing by yourself, cold tub with your group, stuff like that. Like, that little stuff makes all the difference in the world. And then, having Coach Hood around and having him come up with these intricate ways to have us bond, and we're not even realize we're bonding. Like, go to a baseball game, you're watching the baseball game, but then you're like, oh, I just realized what Pete does in his free time, or something like that. You know what I mean? So that stuff has been huge for us, and I can tell it's been a big focal point of the coaching staff along with the players at every position, not just in the O-line. So.
Sure. You mentioned a minute ago getting your confidence back. What was kind of that process of getting it back? Was there a moment it kind of clicked, or a conversation or something?
Yeah, I think I started playing my redshirt freshman year, and the struggles and the ups and downs of playing that young at the SEC. You already lose a lot of competition straight from high school to college. You realize that's just SEC football. But honestly, just talking to my parents, it's hard sometimes to feel like open enough to talk to your parents and really tell them what's going on. You don't want to be disappointed or whatever, but I had getting a all those guys are great. I mean, the guys that transferred in, like Gusta, who's been playing over me in nose guard, he's a great player. I mean, it feels everyday practice feels like you're playing a football game, but not supposed to be. And then, you know, even the guys that come back, like Khalil, all those guys, Kendrick, Gadsden, those guys have gotten so much better. It's almost like sometimes we joke, oh, these guys are new too. Like, I want to go and reintroduce myself because, but it all goes back to the work put in the weight room. You know, that group's a group that obviously comes super close together too, even with the new guys, and work super hard in the offseason and showing up. So it's been, you know, a blast to, you know, kind of iron sharpens iron with them and get both as good as we can get.
What's the challenge of going and blocking somebody as big and as tall as Dion to somebody like us who's really looks a foot shorter? You know?
Yeah, Coach Will says it all the time, like, the trenches is a game of leverage. So, honestly, I feel like I prefer to block the taller guy than the short guy. You know, you got to really try to get underneath someone. But, I mean, both those guys you mentioned are obviously, I mean, Dion is impossible to block on those. But Gusta feels that way too sometimes, but they both work super hard, you know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to, I feel like, rather than size. But there's definitely benefits and pros and cons of both, I guess.
Jager learned from playing center 2 years ago that you can play now. They do a better position.
I would say snap and then play. Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, you get so focused, especially like wide zone stuff, it's like, you know, you're taught to sprint. But if you sprint, you haven't snapped the ball yet, then you're sprinting with the ball's not going to hit the guy. It sounds super simple, but it's something that necessarily doesn't always click. So just doing that, just getting absolutely as many snaps as I can to where it's something that, you know, I don't have to think about as much, and it's